Let's look at something deeper than strategies, deeper than actions, deeper than anything you've probably tried before. Because the real reason money is not where you want it to be is not outside of you. It's in the way you relate to it. And this is not something you fix with affirmations, not something you change by repeating new thoughts, because your relationship with money is not built on words. It's built on feelings, reactions, and unconscious patterns. Most people don't even realize what their relationship with money actually is. They think it's something logical, something they can explain, but in reality, it shows up in the smallest, most automatic reactions. The way you feel when you see a high price, the way you react when someone else is successful, the way your body responds when you think about having more money. That's your real relationship with money. Neville Goddard states about the idea that your reality reflects who you are being, and if you apply this to money, it becomes very clear. You don't receive money just because you want it. You receive it according to how natural it feels for you to have it. And here's the key. For most people, money does not feel natural. It feels heavy, complicated, stressful, or even dangerous. And at the same time, they're trying to attract more of it. Do you see the contradiction? You can't fully receive something that doesn't feel safe or natural to you. Joseph Murphy explained that the subconscious mind accepts what feels true, not what you repeat, not what you try to convince yourself of, but what feels like a fact inside. So if inside you, there's tension around money, pressure, fear, uncertainty, that becomes your financial reality, even if consciously you want more. And this is why affirmations often don't work, because they try to overwrite something that is much deeper, something emotional, something embodied. You can say, money comes easily. But if your body tightens when you think about money, your system doesn't believe it, and your reality reflects that. So real change doesn't come from forcing new thoughts. It comes from becoming aware of your current relationship, without trying to fix it immediately, without pretending it's different, just seeing it clearly. For example, what do you feel when you see someone wealthy? Do you feel calm, neutral, inspired? Or do you feel tension, comparison, judgment, doubt? That reaction tells you everything, because your external reality can never go far beyond what feels acceptable inside. There's something very important to understand. Money itself is neutral. It has no meaning on its own. You are the one who gives it meaning, and that meaning shapes how it shows up in your life. If money feels like pressure, responsibility, risk, you will unconsciously resist it, even if consciously you say you want it. If money feels like freedom, ease, expansion, you begin to allow it. And this doesn't happen through thinking. It happens through experiencing, through shifting how it feels inside. Neville talked about the feeling of naturalness, about making your desire feel normal. And this applies directly to money. You don't need to convince yourself you're rich. You need to make money feel like a normal part of your life, not something extraordinary, not something distant, not something one day, but something natural. And this is a very subtle shift, because the moment money stops being something special, something unreachable, something big, it stops being separate from you and starts becoming part of your identity. There's also a deeper layer. Your relationship with money is closely connected to your sense of self-worth, how much you feel you're allowed to have, how much feels too much for you. Because if somewhere inside you there's a belief, this is not for me, this is too big, I don't deserve this, you will limit yourself, and it won't always be obvious. It will show up in small choices, in hesitation, in opportunities you ignore, in decisions you make without even realizing why. And this is where real transformation begins, not by repeating new beliefs, but by noticing your current ones, and slowly changing your reactions, not forcing yourself, but becoming aware. For example, maybe before you felt tension when thinking about money. Now you notice that, and instead of feeding it, you choose to relax, not by pretending, but by understanding. Understanding that money is not something separate from you. It's part of life. And the more you allow that, the less resistance there is. And the less resistance, the easier money flows. There's another important shift. Many people make money the main goal, and that creates pressure. But money is not the goal. It's a result, a reflection of your internal state. And the moment you start changing your relationship, money begins to change as well. Not because you attracted it, but because you stopped pushing it away. And that's a very important difference. If right now you feel tension around money, that's not a problem. That's awareness. Because the moment you see it, you're no longer running on autopilot. And that's where everything begins to shift. Not through effort, not through struggle, but through a deeper understanding of yourself. And over time, you'll notice something interesting. It's not just your money that changes. Your entire experience of life changes. You feel calmer, more confident, more open, and money becomes a natural extension of that. If this resonates with you, write in the comments what money really feels like for you right now. Honestly, not what you think it should feel like. And hit the like button so more people can see this, especially those who are still trying to fix everything only through action. And subscribe, because we're going even deeper in the next videos, into the level where reality itself is formed. And remember the most important thing. Money is not something you chase. It's something that reflects you. And the moment you change your relationship, the reflection changes. Because anything is possible.